Morning, everybody. This is Moshe, the electric Israeli, and in today's video I want to just speak a little bit about the upcoming Chevy Bolt and also the announcement of the Tesla Model 3 and maybe a couple other things, not too complicated. Before I say that, I'm driving my Leaf now, and it is 16 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about, I don't know, but I would say minus 10 or so Celsius. It's really cold. And I know I've said this in the past, and this Nissan Leaf performs unbelievably in the winter. In the summer, all the cars perform well, more or less, in terms of miles and whatever. This is a small battery, and the range is not the same in the winter than the summer. You have to be more cognizant of where you're going and what's your limits. But it performs so well. It heats so amazingly. It's really a great winter car. That's the irony. It's a great winter car, and with my snow tires, no issues whatsoever. So that's that. As for the Chevy Bolt and for the Tesla Model 3 that's going to be introduced next March 31st, they're actually going to take reservations. I'm thinking about it. Not committing, but I'm thinking about it. First of all, I hope to see the Chevy Bolt at the New York Auto Show. It's in April. I go every single year. I'm going to make a few videos there. But as for the Chevy Bolt, let's say it is what they say it is, which I'm sure it's going to be a nice car, 200 miles, 5 seats, 60 kilowatt battery, great, even fast charger, the CCS fast charger and all that. Let's say all is true. Here's the difference between that and what Tesla is going to bring, which is not going to be this year. It's probably going to be middle of next year, and they're going to only release the high end first, but later on they're going to release, let's say, the base model. But here's the big difference between Tesla and everybody else, because Tesla is a true electric car company. Only thing they're interested in is electric cars, no games and no compromises and no anything. And not only that their cars are incredibly I've been in a couple, and I'm gonna do a video on one soon. Is as they were building cars, they were building fast charging stations. You can go from coast to coast, north, south, and soon almost everywhere on their supercharging network. So I saw a few videos of GM interviews with Pam Fletcher and others, their chief engineer, several others, and they were asked point blank, are you going to create a fast charging network? Now, Tesla is this size compared to GM, which is a giant company, and they said unequivocally, no, we are not going to partner with anybody. The dealers, it's so expensive. It is such nonsense, because if you think about it, I know there are fast chargers and they're coming around in malls and other places, but there is no systematic program, just like Tesla has, to cover all the major highways, all the major arteries, so you can travel. In addition, they have all these destination charges in hotels and resorts, so you can, and people do, in the United States, in West Europe, China, even Australia. That's the big difference. Because so if you think about the Bolt, forget the performance, forget how it's gonna look like. I'm sure it's gonna look great, and I'm not saying I will not consider it. I mean, I drive the Leaf knowing I have my limitation and knowing what I'm doing with it. That's fine. That's not the issue. But if you are going to build a 200-mile car, and later on maybe 250, 300 as technology improves, why in the world you'll not invest in making this car able to drive anywhere. This is GM, it's not some startup company. And they said, no, we're not going to, not only that they're using the CCS, which is, there are less of them than Chatham, but let's say they're going to build more, fine, whatever. I mean, I've seen a couple already. What's the point? What are you going to do with it? So a 200 miles car really, in real terms, becomes 150, meaning 75 miles each way. If you want to go back and forth somewhere and you're not going to find something, because there are not so many. Sorry, there are not so many. In some places there are, in some places there aren't, and you cannot rely on them. You know what I mean? It's not a program. It's not systematic program of using. So I can go to 180, 150, 180 miles, charge for a half hour, continue. No, it's really 75, 80 each way, because you really always have to leave a buffer. Okay, you always have to leave 30, 40 miles buffer for whatever it is that you need, if it's too cold or too hot or whatever that is. So it is so upsetting that they come say we created a 200-mile car. No, you did not create a 200 miles car, because if you go 200 miles, then you stay right there. If you don't have the infrastructure, the systematic, well-planned infrastructure that will support this, then people will buy it in masses. That's my point. And that's what is so frustrating. It's like they're doing you a favor. That now I drive the Leaf, I drive the Volt. I bought the Volt just for long distance driving, because I do take trips during the year. And it's a great car, and I love it, and I love the Leaf, but I understand. But if you want to go pure electric, and you're going to say it's a 200 miles car and no range anxiety, that's nonsense. It is nonsense, because it's just longer. You can go longer one way and come back. That's all it is. Now, is that what most people do? Yes, my Leaf has 9,000 miles almost, and I have it for 6 months. I'm going to drive it 18,000 miles a year, just in local driving. And that's fine, and I'm ecstatic. But I'm not going to take this to a long trip, because you can't do it, and you cannot do it with the Bolt if they don't have the fast charging network done systematically. So that was my point. So I hope to see it in the car show in New York. And is it possible that I will buy one? Sure, it's possible. But it's going to be a little bit better than this in terms of how far I can go back and forth. That's all. So that's my thought. Have a great weekend, everybody. Please subscribe to my channel. I want to get to 1,000 subscribers, and then 10,000, and then more and more, because I want to change the world one electric car at a time. Good weekend, everybody.